So RCB played the Mumbai Indians yesterday, and I had a few takeaways from the game which I would want to share with you. Now, before I start with that, I want to say that I've been an RCB fan for 13 years, ever since the inception of the IPL. Yeah, come to think about it, 13 years has been depressing. It's not good for your mental health. I wouldn't recommend being an RCB fan. So, but I have some takeaways, and some of them are positive, some of them are negative. I'm going to be mostly talking about the RCB side of things. But before that, I'm just going to say, Mumbai fans, you don't have much to worry about if you're concerned about yesterday's game. I mean, yeah, a loss sucks, but you have really nothing to worry about because your batting is deep as ever, and your bowlers are really good. Jasprit Bumrah is still Jasprit Bumrah, so yeah, you have nothing much to worry about. So I'm going to talk about the negatives first because why not? And I'll move on to the positives. Before I start, I just want to say this video is not going to be scripted at all, so subscribe at your own risk. So anyway, coming to my RCB's bowling has been it was good yesterday, but RCB really needs to find a consistent bowling attack. So the first 4 overs were really good in terms of our bowling. Not I don't play for RCB, but in terms Mohammad Siraj, Kyle Jamieson bowled an extremely good first spell, and then what I found weird was Yuzvendra Chahal was bowling the fifth over, which if you're doing that, I would rather give it to Washington Sundar, although I don't know cricket a lot, and definitely not questioning Kohli's decision there. But even then, I feel like Sundar bowls better in the beginning of the overs rather than Chahal. So yeah, I would just do that. And after that, the middle overs were just really inconsistent with Shabazz Nadeem and Dan Christian. And Harshal Patel started off the game poorly, but then in the end, he just really bowled amazing. Especially the last over it was really good. But so yeah, RCB needs to find a consistent bowling rotation. So that would really and the thing is they have really good bowlers. So I mean they have Mohammad Siraj. Nati Samni didn't play yesterday, but he's also a really good bowling option. The spinners Washington Sundar and Yuzvendra Chahal, and you also have Kyle Jameson, who's been really good yesterday. But the only concern is the fact that we have these five bowlers, and if Harshal Patel is going to be consistent, which he has kind of struggled with throughout his career, we're going to have six reliable bowling options, which normally that would be a good thing. But the thing is, when you're trying to figure out your consistent bowling rotations, it could be a hindrance there. And this also means that we might struggle to get a good. Why do I keep saying we? They might struggle to get a proper batting lineup as well if they wanted to keep all six bowlers. So I know Washington Sundar is technically an all-rounder, but he's more of a bowling all-rounder. And I don't care. He just bowled 1 over yesterday, and he bowled a really good over. So whatever it is, Washington Sundar deserves to get four overs every game. That's how it should be because he's that good a bowler. So another major concern I had was the fielding. The fielding was not good to say the least. Virat Kohli has kind of regressed as a fielder as he's gotten older. That's just something I've noticed. He's been dropping more catches and he's just not as aggressive in the field as he once was. And but even in general, the communication between the fielders has been poor. Like let's see, I saw a couple of easy boundaries just get away because the fielders didn't even try. I mean, yeah, some of them were pretty hard, but the fact that they didn't even try is a little bit concerning. And I'm not just talking about the drop catch, I'm just talking about the overall environment in the field and the overall response to the fielders there. So the next thing, but overall, I think our bowling can be fine. Our problems in the past, except last year, has been the fact that we don't have good bowlers. But now the fact that we have good bowlers and we need to find a proper rotation. Also, side note, Dan Christian does not provide too much to the team. I would rather take Finn Allen instead of him because Finn Allen can keep, and I don't have a problem with WS keeping. WS is a really good keeper, but I would rather save his energy for him to come out and bat. And with Finn Allen, we have another batting option as well. Since Dan Christian does not really provide much to his team because we don't really need his bowling, and he's not that great a batsman. I mean, now he's a little older. He wasn't that great a batsman either way. So, yeah, I would rather take Finn Allen instead of Dan Christian. And so my final concern comes to the batting. So one good thing that I noticed is Glenn Maxwell is actually pretty confident. Like last IPL, he wasn't in his. I don't know what was happening, but he played really well in Australia. So I think I think he just wasn't in his head right, or maybe he's just not clicking then. The commentator did mention yesterday that he didn't hit a six all season last season, which is actually surprising for Glenn Maxwell, and he had two really good sixers last night. So Glenn Maxwell, hopefully, I don't want to jinx this, but might be one of our best pickups when we spend this much money. Like if you think of a lot of RCB's lottery buys over the last like 5 to 7 years, Yuvraj Singh has been a bust. Dinesh Karthik was a bust. Shane Watson, I wouldn't say he's a bust, but I mean, he wasn't great either. And hopefully Glenn Maxwell can pan out. But what I saw from yesterday, he does add more batting depth than we had last season. So I can't wait for Devdutt Padikkal to be back. So at least we have four reliable options in Virat, ABD, Devdutt, and Glenn Maxwell. Also, just saying, I don't know much about Rajat Patidar, but I'm hoping he can pan out. I'm hoping pan out. I wish him all the best. So other than that, so yeah, hopefully we just get one more batsman in there, and then we have a proper batting and bowling lineup, and I think we can get the fielding right as well. So the main positives I need to take away from this game, other than Glenn Maxwell, is Kyle Jameson. Like I didn't mention Kyle Jameson, but Kyle Jameson bowled really well last night. So I'm hoping he can bowl. I mean, he is a really good bowler, but I'm hoping he can just continuously bowl for RCB and just perform the way he normally does. And I think we'll be fine then. So now this begs the question: can RCB really continue this throughout the season, and can we finally host that trophy? If you ask me to give a prediction right now, I would say no, because a lot of these glaring weaknesses that we've had in the past are still showing. Like the fielding is going to be a concern. Like we're not going to be they're not going to be really good fielding team. That's just how it is. And I'm hoping they can figure some of these nuances out, but I still think the bowling is going to be a concern. I'm sorry, the fielding is going to be a concern. So I mean, if they can get the right bowling rotations, I do think RCB has potential to be the best bowling team in the league. I'm not exaggerating that. It could be maybe second best behind SRH, but RCB does have potential to be a really good bowling team. But other than that, the batting depth does concern me. Although we can use some of the batsmen on the bench, but they have not been that consistent. But I'm just hoping they can find out some lineup that works. And let's see. Let's hope finally RCB fans have something to get excited to. So that's it for this video. If you want to see more IPL content and more content in general, I have a lot of stuff planned out. You can just like and subscribe. That I would really appreciate it. This is a relatively new channel. I have like what 2 subscribers right now, and one of them is me from another account. So it would be really helpful if you all could subscribe. And that's it. Thank you all so much.